Well, hi everyone. I am back with Greg Hurley, and we have arrived at the 10th and final lesson of our Bible study, Faith in the Arenas of Life. And this is an interesting one. Greg, I know, has called this the red-headed stepchild of the 7 C's that he has. And partly because of the way you thought about it for a long time, which was This was cardio. It was, it's physical care. Get to the gym, take care of your body, that sort of thing, which certainly makes sense in a secular context alone. Physical. A lot of people are very committed to that.
Right.
But now you've seen it in a broader sense as care for yourself and some of the things that God would have us do to take care of our own personal health, not just to be built, but to be healthy, and to allow that to weave through the other arenas. I'm probably a better husband, I'm probably a better father, I'm probably a better child, I'm a better community member if I'm healthy and able to do things for a longer period of time.
Right.
Yet Scripture, Paul famously wrote to Timothy, physical training is of some value, but godliness has value for all things.
Right.
So how do we strike that balance, Greg?
Yeah, that's a great question. A lot of us are so focused on the outside of how we look and I guess how we feel on the inside. And we think we can solve this, at least this was the case for me, by solving it, going to the gym, working out, core exercises, and playing golf is part of that, but, working out, I just think of the person that goes to the gym. I have a lot of friends that go to the gym every day, and spend a lot of time trying to work on the outside of their bodies instead of the inside. Once again, moving from, LA to San Francisco, I was able to really spend some more time with God than I ever had in the past, and I really started contemplating this idea of care for self, and I think it's really this idea we talked about before, contentment, right? We work out in order to reduce stress, but that's really just kicking the can down the road, and I was the chief king of that. I just said, well, if I go and work out, I'll have reduced stress and stuff, instead of really dealing with the issues and making the hard decisions. And for me, it took a team of my wife and pastor and my mentor, Jeff Gelb, and them encouraging me and praying for me and praying with me and really telling me that, hey, you need to make some serious changes in your life. And I didn't want to hear it. But one of those changes was, you're working out kind of too much. So I stopped working out. I kind of work out kind of in a different way now that I mentioned before, just walking and doing some light running. And I've never felt better. It's like this weird thing. The reason cardio originally went in there because of my 3 father figures I write about in the white paper. Tragically, they all died of massive heart attacks. Wow. So I think part of care for self is getting checkups. A lot of guys say, well, I don't need a checkup, and maybe they have a fear, and I don't like going to the doctor, but making sure you kind of check in with the doctor to understand what areas of imbalance might be going on in your body, and more times than not, it's about stress. So really, how do you reduce stress instead of just the temporary fix of working out? How can you structure your life and have this rhythm amongst the 7 C's to really reduce stress and create contentment? And I think it starts with spending more time with God. So if you work out once a day, usually an hour, and 5 days a week, what if you spent 15 minutes working out and flip it, and then 45 minutes with God? I think it would change your life.
Significant.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and in this lesson, the scriptures in this lesson also talk a fair bit about Sabbath.
Right.
That is the rest, the rhythm of rest that God built into His people. Obviously, we can have big theological discussions about this, the strictures of Sabbath, but really the thread that runs from the beginning all the way to the end of Scripture is you don't run a rat race.
Right.
There are times where you step back and you reflect and you worship and you do these things in a dedicated way that allows you to basically breathe.
Right. It's this idea of 6 and 1, 6 and 1. We've all heard numerous sermons with regards to the Sabbath. I mean, it's one of the commandments, but very rarely do people really practice it. But I found the people that practice it, once again, have less stress and a better relationship with Christ, and really this idea of contentment. So thinking about cardio, and this is what I hope this particular section does, just thinking about cardio and thinking about care for self instead of so much cardio as a different way to kind of care for yourself and reduce your stress.
Yeah, and I think that's important for all of
All of
our
us.
viewers to think about as well.
Right.
So we're glad we put this one in. It's
Right.
lesson 10. I'm glad you're there. I'm glad, Greg, that you've been able to be a part of this project.
Thank you.
When Greg came to us with his white paper, and Derek Wong, our regional director in Southern California and Las Vegas, said, "Is there some way we can make a Bible study from this?" I looked at it, and as the guy at Links Players who gets to put together all of our publications, I was really excited to do this, and it's been a privilege to sit with you during these introductions
it's been
and
an
talk
honor.
about these things.
It's
So,
been an honor for me, and it's something I've been looking forward to and thrilled about as
Great.
well.
well, thanks, Greg. And what's great about today's technology is it won't be long before some people can watch and read all of this
Right.
stuff. So that's great.
What a blessing.
Yeah. Thank you all. We hope this has been a powerful journey for you and has a great effect on your walk of faith as you weave Christ through the arenas of your life.